That should be good. 2. All right. See, 11:20. Is an hour okay with everybody? About an hour, right around there somewhere.
I can go however late you want.
Okay. So, Gadfly, you kind of pull up. What kind of car do you guys have? Because for some reason, all I can picture is you have like a little Honda hybrid thing that you're all piling into.
Since it's probably my car, it's probably some type of like armored van that I got from my police connections.
Okay.
Like nondescript black armored. Maybe not black, but maybe like
white. So it looks like a service van. You guys are going to work on the power lines?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, probably around that. There's space for like guns and ammo in the back.
Oh, nice. I should put a miniature lab in it.
It sounds like it could be a disaster waiting to happen.
Yeah.
All right. So, you pile into this thing, and most of the streets kind of like cleared out. You can hear sirens going off. Somebody's probably called the cops or done something after the fight that was going on.
Yeah.
Well, like back.
What time is it, by the way?
Now I'd probably say like earlier evening, 4 or 5 in the evening.
Okay. So
you could hear like the sirens are going off back where your fight was with the the little gang members a while ago. And you can stuff's still going on back there. And what are you guys going to do?
Should we go for the suit?
Yeah,
or something we should do before 8.
We can do 2 things, I think. We can either prepare for the meeting in some way to like, probably with myself and Afterthought as henchmen of Gadfly, so that he doesn't know who we are.
He knows who you are. He knows everything.
The spy, you mean?
Yeah, I'd be very surprised if he didn't. But maybe he doesn't.
Well, maybe he doesn't know we're working. Well, I don't know. Because we were at the mayor's thing together.
Yeah.
So,
he knows my secret identity, and I have no idea how.
Well, okay, anyway. We can either prepare for that in some way, or we can go there early and try to steal the suit before the meeting.
No, if the spine was wanted, you can negotiate with him sometimes. He's ruthless, but he's smart, too. He has my suit. He probably has a reason for us to go there.
All the more reason to not be there when he expects us.
Well, don't tell
From what you know of Dr. Marcel, he's first and foremost a businessman. I mean, he'll do whatever he can to get ahead in the game, but he is very ruthless in what he does. He's not somebody who's going to go out and like kill people for fun or that kind of thing. Not to say that he wouldn't take people for experiments, though.
Right.
But it's all in the name of business.
Right. If he wanted me dead, he could very easily have done that by now. Most likely.
Yeah.
For all of us. I'd indulge him with a meeting, one that he's ready for. We're not really prepared to attack, what is his last name again?
Crimshaw.
Crimshaw Industries. Or, like, sneak into it to get anything.
Yeah, his place would be very locked down. It's, it's a highly technically advanced place. It would be like trying to get into the Fantastic Fours building.
Wow.
Something rings a bell. Someone was told to use the device on the spine, right?
Yes.
Okay. That was
Pedro. And he said he did, and then he returned it back to the tall man.
All right. So we know something. We know that the spine's been struck. We don't know if it was with this odd trinket that I have. Perhaps it worked at one point, but doesn't anymore. And this larger version simply has more charges. That makes sense.
That may be.
Did you guys let him know, Gadfly know about the one that Roxy has? It looked just exactly the same as the small one that you got off the ground from the other guy too.
Does it have the same inscription?
Nope, they did not get close enough to see that.
Okay.
They may have, so.
You should have taken it. I know.
You can take it next time.
You should have just took
I
it.
should have. It should be in my lab, sir. Okay. Can't think of anything else we can do to prepare. I think we should meet with the spine. I think the spine might be concerned that someone's out for what's in his head. A lot of people would kill for that kind of information.
Alright. Well, I'll go there in costume so he doesn't know what I look like in real life.
Okay.
I could say that I'm there for mental bodyguard or something.
And I'm
Protect
gonna
secrets.
go and I don't know how I want to do this. I want to have the orb with me, but I don't want it to be visible. How big is it? Like a soccer ball?
Yeah,
Or?
you could fit it in a backpack easy enough. I mean, if you wanted to wear a
Okay.
backpack around.
Yeah.
The large orb or the small one?
The large orb.
Yeah, about the size of a soccer ball.
Yeah.
Weight-wise, probably, like maybe a pound, if that. It's a lot lighter than what it looks like it should be.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I can hold on to it. I had it in my backpack before. It
Wow.
works just fine.
You also went out to Roxy with it. So I'm going to put in a backpack and like cut slits on the side of my backpack so that I can reach into it without having to open the actual backpack.
Okay.
And I'm also going to go dressed like black jacket, like maybe like a bandana, so I'm not immediately recognizable.
Okay. Now, you had a run-in with
Sort of like a suited costume.
You have the spine as an enemy as well, right?
Yeah.
What was your run-in with him before?
He was dealing in human trafficking in Japan, I guess.
Okay. Human trafficking. All right. And did you come into him personally, or was it something that you didn't get really involved with? You just know about, or like, does he know who
it would
Joel
be my
is?
Team,
Okay.
but I don't think it would be me since I'm not a really heavy hitter.
Okay.
So I would be more like on the walkie-talkie or like, oh, you go there, you go, yeah.
Okay. Does he know who Joel Yang is, or?
Probably.
Okay.
Probably.
All right.
He might not know who Afterthought is at all.
Well, Afterthought, you stole something from him, didn't you?
Oh, right. Fucked him over.
I tried to.
Right.
Didn't really work. Cause he's more concerned about it missing than I thought he would be.
So you tried to steal his amulet.
Yeah. I don't know what the amulet does, but apparently it was important for him.
Important amulet.
He wanted it for some reason, even though I was trying to take it.
I think I'd probably try to steal it from as Johnny Swift, though. So
Okay.
he might not know that I'm the same person, unless
Right.
he talks to Roxy.
Okay. All right. So, what's the plan then? You gonna go meet this guy 8 o'clock? Pay some money to get your suit.
So
Yeah,
we're meeting him
How much did he
inside
want?
the building, right?
Pardon?
We're meeting him inside the building?
Yeah. That's what he told Gadfly is to come by his office.
Okay.
How much did he want for the suit again? Was that,
144.73.
That's ridiculous. What?
That is
Like-
one hell of a good clean job right there.
Like peanuts to anyone with a job. He better have cleaned it. All right.
Do we know where his office is in the building? Like, is it like a... Yeah.
Well, it's a big building. You probably would have directions to his. I mean, it may not be like his office. You wouldn't exactly know, but people would be there waiting for you.
Yeah.
I'd say that Dr. Marcel would probably know where his office is, though.
Right.
Okay.
since Dr. Marcel took up that offer to work on this weird initiative, is this going on in this facility, or is it?
Nope, that would be at the hospital, which actually was built off of where the mayor was. It's not completely finished yet.
Cool.
Okay.
But you would end up working a lot, probably between the two buildings. You know, if you did take up that job, you know, that would be the concept anyway.
I might just have said I would do it and then not do it, because he's my enemy. Yeah, I assume none of those formalities of getting like a name tag with a magnetic strip so I can go in the building. I assume none of that's been done yet, and I have to enter through the front and deal with the security guard.
Right. You know, you get a little text across your thing. He's like, "Oh, don't forget your resume."
Oh, what a dick! God, what a dick! You know my resume, Mr. Kershaw.
All right, so you know when you pull up to this building, it's like easily like the biggest building in the city. You know, stands really high, and like when you're looking at it, there's two buildings side by side. One's a little bit shorter than the other, but there's like a bridge, almost looks like a glass staircase that goes from one up to the other.
Okay.
You know, there's a main entrance. I mean, there's dozens of people around, just right in the downtown of San Francisco. So it's a nice busy area. I mean, there's nothing. You got like the security guards out front, but they're the peon guys who don't even get a gun. They just get the cool badge.
I sort of want to go to like a neighboring building and like have a sniper set up on the office. But how, like, what floor is this office on? Would there be a sniper vantage point for that?
I'd say his office would probably be the top floor, whatever they're called up there. The top floor of a building. The penthouse, I guess. So, yeah, there's probably not I mean, there's buildings around. You might be able to get a good beat on them, but probably not really that great now.
Okay, so I'm just gonna have heavy. Well, I suppose I have two pistols, one with lethal, one with non-lethal.
Okay.
In my jacket.
All right.
Yeah.
Just don't mix them up.
Yeah.
Have them both at the same time.
You got a rubber bullet bouncing around the room.
Okay, so yeah.
All right.
So, I mean, it's Gadfly's show for the moment, since he's the one who knows. And it's his suit, so.
Yeah.
You gonna go in for this thing?
I think that Grimshaw just wants to talk. I'm fairly certain. He has no interest in my suit besides using it to humiliate me, which he seems to enjoy doing. Yeah, I go as I am.
Okay. You know, you guys get out, you park your car, you get out, and the security guards are kind of like nod to you and tell you to have a good day as you walk in. The main building, when you first walk in, you got like the open floor, like it's probably a good 100 feet so or more, like square room that you're in. And there's like pictures of all these famous doctors throughout the city that have, you know, worked or they've done major research of some sort or whatever. And they're all kind of plastered along the walls and big posters, and it says like how much time they donated to the business and the money and stuff like that. And then at the far end of the wall, there's like a big round desk. It's all covered in marble and like inlaid with gold. And there's a couple of receptionists there. And like behind them is just one big, huge 10-foot by 10-foot poster of the spine. And just, you know, he's all dressed up in a suit with a nice smile and everything. And it says Grimshaw Medical Services. You know, there's regular pedestrians around. There's some that are like looking at it as a tourist place, so they're taking pictures and there's like a standard like a fake cutout board type thing of the Dr. Grimshaw. The size, so you got people like putting their arms around it, getting pictures with the doctor, and you can see that he's like marketing this thing as much as he can to get the money out of it. And there's little machines around that allow them to like photo booth that they can go in and sit down. It takes a picture of them with the doctor, supposedly.
Okay.
Okay. I look at the portraits of the various doctors, and with the slightest bit of hope, I check to see whether I'm among them, because I did work for Dr. Grimshaw, and I did make some contributions to his company.
All right. So yeah,
I invented the Marcel test.
So as you look, you notice that like they're in alphabetical order, and you kind of skim through, and then you do come to see one. You see a smaller one of you. It's probably only like a little 8 by 10 photo, and somebody's drawn a little curly mustache on it.
Oh. I really want to take it off the wall, but I don't. I don't do it. It doesn't even list my contributions, does it?
No, it just says Dr. Marcel, and they probably spelled Marcel wrong. It's like Marsel,
I usher my associates away from it.
Yeah.
All right, we approach the reception desk.
A young girl, she's kind of sitting there. She looks up, and when she does, you'll notice like she has a big, looks like she was in a fire or something at some point, and like the side of her face is all scarred up. But when she looks at you, you can see like her eye. I guess only Gadfly would notice it. You're going to notice that it's an artificial eye. It looks like a robotic eye of some sort. It's something sets it off to you that you notice it. The other two, you don't seem to really notice that it's fake. But, Gadfly, you do. She kind of like smiles. She's like, how can I help you?
I have a hard time. I'm staring into that one eye because I'm trying to figure out which model it is and all of these, odd, eccentric things. But I do manage to sound relatively normal. We have an appointment with Dr. Grimshaw. It is 7:55. Appointment is for 8 o'clock.
All right. She looks down, she types some stuff into her keyboard, and she looks up, and she's like, Dr. Marcel, right?
Yes, indeed.
It's like, yeah, okay. He's like, up on the 101st floor, there'll be people there waiting for you.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Sure.
This way, gentlemen. Step into the elevator. The 101st floor.
That's right.
What?
Hey, Gadfly, could you scoot your camera over?
I was just gonna say the
You're
same
half
thing.
off the screen.
Oh,
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Much better.
That's what gave me the idea of half of her face being burned away. All right, so yeah, the elevator goes up, and I don't know if any of you guys have ever been in 30 Rock, but when you go up to the top of 30 Rock, when you're in the elevator, it's like a video playing all around you on the walls, on the floor, and on the ceiling about how they were building the building way back when and stuff. This is quite similar. Like the floor is like made out of marble and really nice, but the walls and the ceiling itself is almost like a TV. And as it's like taking you up to the top, it's giving you the history of this building and all the major breakthroughs that Dr. Grimshaw has made, and telling you about, what he's planning to do and how he's looking to help the city and, make everything better. And it's basically just a really big ego boost for the doctor.
yeah.
Then when you get to the top, the doors open up, and you got two guards that are standing there. They both have like they look almost like taser type guns or something, and they kind of like strapped to their chest like a almost looks like a fire extinguisher almost on their chest, and they have like a little hand taser thing, and they kind of like step off to the side to let you through. The room you're entering is basically just like one long hallway, and it's just completely blank. It's just everything's painted nice and white, and there's just a blue stripe on one of the walls. It's all jagged all the way down to the end where there's a set of double doors.
All right.
I'm just following behind Gadfly.
I walk past. I don't acknowledge the guards. I'm quite visibly pissed about the Grimshaw experience of the elevator.
All right. You get down to the doors, they open up just fine. You're just going to head on in.
By the way, in the elevator, could I make sure that that we're mentally connected again? Okay. So,
yeah, that's up to afterthought. You guys are all connected then?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So you guys gonna go in there? You know, you got like the up top of the top. It says Dr. Crimshaw's office.
It's one of those situations where you're not sure if you should knock or just open the door.
Let's just open the door, see if we catch him.
I open the door dramatically as I can with both hands.
All right, so they like swing inwards. So like if you like push them open, they like slam inwards, and you stand there. As you burst into this room, it looks like almost like just a simple little lounge. There's a couch to the side with a nice little table and some wine glasses. There's a little kitchen area. And you see the doctor. He's kind of standing at a counter. He's got like a martini glass in his hand, and he's got a couple other glasses set up. He's like, "Welcome, welcome. Would you like a drink?"
Dr. Crimshaw.
He's like, "That's my name."
Yes, I need a drink at this point.
He's like, "I put a picture of you up today downstairs. I hope you noticed that. You're part of the team now."
I wasn't looking.
And he's like, "So, a bourbon? You look like a bourbon kind of guy."
Yes.
All right. Yeah, and he's like, "You guys want anything to drink?"
I'll just go stand motionless by the
Right.
door on guard duty.
So, you know, he goes ahead and pours you a drink anyway, and he sits in there, and he walks over to Dr. Marcel, and he hands him his drink, and he's like, "It's usually not very often people bring friends to their interview."
I have staff of my own, Dr. Crimshaw.
He's like,
I know that fell flat, and I just...
he just, you know, he nods. He's like, "Yeah, so do I. They're downstairs. Probably met them. And through the other 100 floors, I got staff too."
That's...
And he's like, "So,
Well done.
let's cut the small chat here." He's like, "So tell me about the suit you have. It's quite fascinating."
My suit? You're interested in it?
He's like, "Well, you know, I have something better, but for, you know, such a rudimentary object, I find it quite fascinating. It's like those old coffee grinders that you had to do by hand. You don't use them anymore, and they're old, but they're fascinating."
Thank you. What do you wish to know about it?
Well, he's like, you know, he looks it over. You can see like it's been laid out on the countertop or whatever. Is it mostly like metal, or what is it exactly?
It has, I guess, the metal... I didn't really think
Gelatin?
about this. The inner parts of it are metallic. The exterior is more of a spandexy, sort of fabric-y surface.
All right.
The magic's on the inside, so if he was examining it, he probably turned it inside out.
Okay.
Which it's actually very cleverly designed to work that way. It can be turned inside out without damaging any of the components.
Okay.
Since it's meant for, like, you know, flying and beating people up, and it's actually very durable. So it does have some merit to it.
All right. Yeah, it's been laid out. It's obvious that he's, you know, picked this thing apart and he's looked at it. It does look to be in, you know, perfect condition. He hasn't like disabled it or done anything like that. You know, and he kind of walks over to it. He's like, "Well, it looks like you're somehow drawing the blood of these people." He's like, on the inside here, and he kind of points out the little areas where he has like the intravenous tubes and stuff. And he's like, "So I assume you're injecting them into yourself?"
Certain. It gathers samples, not necessarily blood samples, as in our work together we've seen metahuman types whose skin can't be breached. You'll notice that this palm device, I'm super proud of my invention, and I'm sort of, you know, forgetting that I'm giving away the intricacies of my suit to my arch nemesis. I'm demonstrating how this probe can take samples from pretty much every surface or aura that a metahuman can throw at him.
All right. I will tag your challenge for vanity if you give him a major secret about the suit. Something you wouldn't want him to know.
Oh, all right. Let me...
I don't know.
If any of you have an idea, let me know. I can't think of anything.
A power, like maybe where the power... No, he already knows the power source
Yeah,
is.
he probably knows all of it.
Ah,
How about like a weakness for it?
Now, is this thing is it kind of hooked up to your database back at your lab so that when you do take samples of places
Yes.
that it's able to,
Oh,
send information back, meaning
Yeah.
probably have to run off of a network somehow or something?
right. It needs to be connected to upload. If the connection goes down, it has an offline mode.
Okay.
But if it for some reason isn't able to connect, perhaps the progress that he's made can be lost if it isn't properly uploaded.
Okay.
This is totally ripped off from my career as a librarianship, but that's fine.
All right. So he looked.
Is that good? I feel like it's not a good enough secret. I apologize.
No, you're fine, because he looks at it and he's like, well, he kind of points out some of the networking chips, like the SIM cards or whatever it might be on this thing. He's like, kind of shakes his head. He's like, I'm honestly, Dr. Marcel, I'm a little unimpressed, he says. I can't believe that you would hook this thing up to your network at your lab, and he walks over and types a little bit on his computer, and it brings up all the security information for you guys' warehouse, and it shows your cameras that you have set up. And he's like, any kind of person could easily hack into your system just with your suit.
The World Wide Web is a vital part of my plans, ultimately.
And he nods. He's like, well, you have a seriously security problem here. You might want to do some spy, antivirus programs on this bitch. And he gets closes off his computer, and he's like, so, tell me about your friends here. And he looks over at Joel in afterthought. And you can see him, he's kind of staring you guys down a bit.
Mentally tell him nothing
Rush, you know
about me.
who both of them are, don't you?
He just kind of gives you a soft smile, and he's like, well, I know a lot of things, Doctor. How about I need to have actually each of you roll for me. Let me look at what to roll, though. Let's see.
I guess.
Defensive.
Guys.
I don't know what it's under. Hold on just a sec, sorry. There we go.
I guess willpower?
Well,
If you're
nope, he has a superpower. I'm just not sure what you need to roll for it, and it's under offensive.
Oh.
So there's defensive, movement, offensive. All right. Let's see. Test your target strength on each page. So I need you guys to roll strength for me with a difficulty of 7.
Oh my!
Uh-oh.
No.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh!
All right. So
he gets a major success on you.
all right. Anybody want to use determination or anything to try and fix one of those? I'll let you do it afterwards if you wanted to.
I'm gonna spend it. Yeah, I'm not letting Dr. Crimshaw do this to me.
I'd say you'd have to do the determined. So just to get your minor success, it'd be 1, 2, 3 determination.
Oh, I don't
For
even
1.
have it. I have 2.
Well, I just gave you. Yeah, I just gave you 1.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
for
yeah.
the secret there.
I have to spend all of it.
Yeah.
That would put you at 1, so a success.
Yeah. I was going to improve my suit's security as soon as I get home, but no, I'm spending all 3 determination to try to withstand the effects of this.
All right.
I'm going to spend 1 determination to do that.
Okay. So you'll all notice that, when you're looking at the doctor, his skin almost looks like it ripples, or it like moves about his body or shifts a little bit. And like the sudden sickness seems to like inflict you. Your stomach churns a little bit, you get a little bit dizzy, and the whole thing but it all passes over, after a few seconds, and you're left just kind of feeling a little bit under the weather, but nothing major is wrong with you.
That's new, Doctor.
He turns and he kind of regards you as like, what's that?
That's a new feature you have there. You're falling apart, aren't you?
He says, no, I'm just fine. Why don't you roll awareness for me, Gadfly, with a difficulty of 3.
What was the trait?
Awareness.
Awareness?
All right. Oh, yeah, all 3 of it.
With a difficulty of 3.
5?
3.
No, 3.
3, okay.
Come on.
Oh, didn't do it.
Okay, no, Mr. All right.
So do we know what it was he was trying to do to us?
No. Probably the person who'd have the best experience would be Joel, if you want to try and guess what was going on.
Okay, so
Yeah, I'd say awareness. Difficulty 3, same thing.
Okay.
Nice, dude.
What, really? Okay.
So yeah, you're not really. You remember a guy that a super villain or somebody who had a power similar to this, but it didn't quite feel the same thing. His powers more made you like dizzy and then like fall asleep and stuff. This was something a little bit different. Probably the same sort of thing. It was an offensive attack against you, but done, without you really knowing. It seemed to like cut to your health itself, not physically damaging you.
Yeah.
Gadfly, you will notice, when the doctor's turning and he's looking at these two, you can see like small metallic pins going down the back of his neck, and there's a seam all the way around his neck. It looks like it's been cut open at some point, and it's not really a scar now. It actually looks like it's still a seam, like he's been cut open, but there's no blood, or it's not like a wound.
Right. So it's like his head's been removed.
That's what it looks like, yeah.
Put back on.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so
I actually don't. Yeah, I don't comment on it, but I do make notes.
all right. And he's like, well, so you're still going to show up to work tomorrow, right?
Yes.
And he's like, good man. And he looks over, he's like, so what do you say about the suit here? You can have it back if you really want, so it's a piece of shit, but, if you want some help, I'll hook you up. We can, maybe just implant the stuff in you. Why wear a suit when you can run the wiring inside? Your brain can be hooked up to the World Wide Web. It's much easier not to. Security's much stronger.
No.
He's like, you were always a pansy. He just kind of shakes his head.
Your head looks like it's about to fall off, sir.
All right.
Doctor.
What do you other two do? Do you do anything yet, or?
I'm just standing there, letting the doctor do his thing.
All right. He kind of smiles.
I start gathering up my suit.
He kind of smiles at Dr. Marchand. He's like, well, let's just say I can do what I want with my head. And, it like spins around completely backwards and faces you. And he kind of smiles and it spins back around. You can see, like, when it does that, though, like, again, his whole body kind of contorts in an awkward sort of, like, jerks kind of oddly. And, he smiles and he's like, so, all right, I'll see you tomorrow then.
Doctor, what we discussed here has nothing to do with the work that we do tomorrow. Agreed?
He's like, yeah, that's fine. I need your services. You're good at what you do, even if you are a shoddy craftsman. You're good at what you know, and, you'll be paid handsomely for your deeds. I don't take nothing personally, he says.
Neither do I. I try to, as calmly as I can, stuff my costume in the bag that we went with. Good day, sir.
Afterthought, roll awareness for me with a difficulty of 2.
Oh.
All right.
A 1.
Yes.
All right. You will notice, like, over in the corner of his room, he has like some open notebooks or folders, and like as you're like kind of looking around and trying to get a mental idea of what's going on here or whatever, but you will see different pictures of like people laid out on his desk, like they're probably like patient folders of some sort. But you see a picture of Roxy there. You see one of this Justin person, and you see another one of this Pedro person that you met. And there's just like probably like 4 or 5 other people you don't really recognize, but they're like just little photographs, and they're look like they're photographs that weren't taken with those people's knowledge. So it's like them walking down the street or from behind the bushes or something like that, and they're just kind of like laid out on his desk.
Well, pass on the knowledge mentally to the other 2.
I'm gonna ask him to take the pieces of paper, like steal them.
Me?
Yeah, you.
I'm be like, no way. I tried to take from this guy before.
That does. We're sort of busy being pissed at him, and I forgot that we can try to glean some knowledge from him about the investigation that we're currently doing. So I heard you've been targeted by one of those devices that hit the mayor.
He turns around. He's like, "Yeah, some little punk tried it on me. Didn't get very far, but it was an unfortunate circumstances."
Did he hit you with it?
He's like, "Well, he did, but let's just say my mind's a little too secure for him. Unlike your suit."
The desk, and I like, have you been visited by a strange figure since that device hit you?
Kind of stares at you for a minute. He's like, "Yeah, I have." He's like, "Do you know anything about it?"
I was hoping you did.
He shakes his head. He's like, "Look, just between me and you, and apparently your friends, since they insist on standing here, I don't know what's going on with it, but, he's like, I'm going to have my people look into who this fellow is. I'm not comfortable with him, and obviously you're not as well. Were you targeted?"
I subjected myself to it during the experimentation process.
He's like, so basically you screwed up, right?
That's not the word I would use.
And he's like, "Well, just like I said, your guys' security is a little bad, and I seen the tapes. I mean, I seen you, petrify the mouse and mess with your buddy over there." He's like, "It's okay, though. I trust you won't do that in my labs."
Also, he knows who I am anyway because he's not the tapes.
All right. The mayor's reported the same phenomenon. As you know, he's been hit as well.
And he nods. He's like, "Yeah, I saw you on TV. You look fine."
Oh, I was on TV.
He's like, "Yeah, you were on the news."
Yeah. Excellent.
Gonna ask him anything else, or?
Seems like there's something we should ask him. I don't know.
He walks over and sits down and takes a sip of his drink, and he's like, "I don't know who this fellow is, but it seems like he's trying to get a lot of information from a lot of major people." And he kind of huffs, kind of, like trying to draw attention to himself, basically showing off that he's a major influence here. And he's like, if it was my guess, he's looking to get information to backstab these people.
He's trying to get information very quickly, too, from all over the city. I mean, he hit you, he hit the mayor. Who else do you think he might hit?
He stops and thinks for a few minutes, and he's like, "Well, I know he hit Anthony, Dr. Gadfly. You'll know he's speaking about Dr. Anthony Benny."
Okay.
And then he thinks, and he's like, "I'm pretty sure he hit his wife too, Mrs. Benny. Her name is Seraphine, by the way." And he's like, "I know both of them were accosted a bit, and I'm pretty sure that the governor himself, when he was in town, I think he was hit as well.
Interesting.
He's like, it seems that everybody he's targeted thus far has been a major person of some sort.
Just a who's who of San Francisco.
Basically, yeah.
And he's hiring thugs to do it.
Yeah, the doctor just kind of shrugs. He's like, well, who better to waste their life?
How come we haven't been contacted?
Many resources. Good day, Doctor.
He smiles. He's like, see you tomorrow.
Okay.
So are we leaving the building?
Yes.
Yeah, the guards let you out and they take you to the elevator. And on the way down, you get to go through this another 5-minute spiel about how great the doctor is and all the history about the Crimshaw Medical Services again.
Again.
All right. Are you guys gonna do anything else in the building?
Not in the building. No.
All right. So, like, as you guys exit this building, the two security guys that were on each side are like gone. They're not on the street anymore. It looks like they're getting ready to close down the building for the day or whatever. But as you go out, you notice your black van isn't there anymore.
Oh,
That's not good.
the van is gone.
Can I? Okay. Can I see it? Like, can I roll?
Yeah. When you look around, there's other vehicles around and stuff, but nothing like fits what your van is. Or it looks where it was parked now. There's just a little red Porsche or something.
Okay.
Anybody outside that looks like they might have been around while we were inside? Like they would have been there the whole time, like a hot dog vendor or something?
Yeah, I'll say there's a couple vendors around, like a gyro vendor or a hot dog vendor.
Euro?
A long cart.
The falafel cart, yep.
Just go ask one of those guys if they saw what happened.
All right, so as you walk over, it's like a younger kid. He's got reddish hair and freckles, and he looks up. He's like, "Hi, what can I get for you?"
I got a falafel.
He's like, "Sure. What kind would you like?" You got beef. We got tuna falafel. Killer.
I'll go for one of those. I'll go for a tuna falafel and an explanation about where that black van went.
He kind of looks over. He's like, some lady took it. Kind of tall, bitchy looking, had a pink mohawk.
Oh, damn it.
He's like, she wasn't very good looking. I hope she wasn't your lady friend. I don't mean to offend.
Okay.
Not anymore.
I guess now that he has a falafel and information.
So, yeah, like as you turn to walk away, he's like, "Hey, you owe me $5."
Joel, you got the cash?
What? You have money. You're an adult. Pay your own falafel.
Tuna falafel.
Yeah, I'll pay him.
All right.
Reluctantly.
The thing's probably like the nastiest thing you've ever eaten as well, It's real soggy, mostly mayonnaise with some really nasty tuna on a dry falafel.
Okay. Are we close enough that we can walk there, or would we have to take a taxi?
To your lab?
No, to Roxy's place.
Oh, yeah, you'd have to get a cab or something down there, yeah.
So, well, Gadfly, actually, I don't know.
I can't carry you guys.
No, I wasn't sure if you want to put on the suit just yet.
No, I don't need to. I can.
No, like in case the spine did anything.
Oh. Like put a bomb in it or something?
Well, not exactly a bomb, but a hijack thing or something.
Right.
But
No.
Like rigged it so that all the information goes to his computers or
Yeah.
something.
Oh, yeah. I should probably run some kind of diagnostics on it, shouldn't I?
Probably.
If I need to, I'll put it on, and I just won't. I'll just run it in a
Offline?
offline mode or some type of disconnected mode that only works with its flight capabilities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we should just I'll hail a taxi and ask to go like drop off like maybe 2 blocks away from Roxy's warehouse.
All right. Superheroes
Third
with
time's the
taxis.
charm.
See, this would be perfect to have you guys all in your outfits and climbing into a cab to go somewhere.
Well,
He's in a cyber
Afterthought is in his outfit.
that.
Yeah, I am. Everyone seems to know who I am anyway.
So yeah.
All right. So you're gonna head down to taxi Roxy's warehouse then again.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, cabbie comes over and he like takes you down and drops you off without a problem. I assume you pay him without an issue, and he goes on his way.
Yeah.
What do you want to do down there? You can see like her building. You can see where they have repaired the front of the building where Afterthought tore the door off. There's not as much going on outside. There's just the 2 regular guards on the side of the door. Though the back door. On the front door is still just like the little panel that flips open and you have to have the secret knock to get in.
Okay. Let's see. Why doesn't Afterthought read the doorman's mind to tell me the secret knock, and I'll enter through the front with,
Alright.
and then as like a guest of the spine again, because I mean we just came from there, so that's sort of believable. And Afterthought and whatchamacallit, Gadfly can look through the back to see if they can find the van. Maybe they drove it in through the double doors.
All right.
Okay.
All right
Sounds like a
then.
good-
Difficulty of only 3 then to read the guy's mind at the door.
Alright. Is it the same guy as
Oh
last
yeah,
time?
looks like him. Well, his eyes look the same.
Oh,
Really?
Is that a -1? All right.
That's
yes.
All right, so yeah, you like think about it, and the guy's thoughts, right now he's really not paying any attention to the door. All he's thinking about is a falafel right now. Sounds just absolutely amazing, and all he can think about is just going and getting this falafel. But he's still stuck at the stammer door, and he really doesn't want to be here.
I'll hand Joel my half-eaten falafel and say, "Try this."
Okay. I will try that.
All right, yeah.
I'm going to, okay, with that information, I'm gonna walk like close so that like within, like he could probably hear me through the door and shout out like, oh, like as if I was talking to someone else, like, oh hey, there's a new falafel stand on the end of the street. I heard it's really good. And then
All right, almost instantly you hear like the little eye panel flop open, and you see a guy peering out at you, and he's like, "Hey, that looks really good."
Yeah, there's a falafel stand headed by this Irish kid. He can really make a mean falafel.
And he's like,
It's like 2 blocks down, maybe
He's
like
like,
a street
"Ah."
over.
"Okay," and he like flips it closed, and like a few minutes later you hear the door opening up, and he kind of peeks out, and he's like, "So, you're part of our gang, right?"
Yeah,
He's like,
was
"Yeah,
here this
I thought
afternoon
I saw
for
you."
my
He's
pay.
like, "You need to watch the door for me. I gotta kill. I'm starving. I just gotta go down and get something to eat." He's like, "Will you watch the door for a minute? You know the knock, right?"
Yeah, sure. Well, wait, what was it again? They
All
always
right, and he
change it.
kind of knocks. He's like, "You got that?"
Yeah,
And he kind of steps out, and he's like, "Now hurry up and don't let Roxy see you, because I'm supposed to be on duty, but she's out back, so I'll be right back."
Oh, okay, sure. And I go inside, and I mentally tell Gadfly and Afterthought to not let him come back. Like, to knock him out and secure him somewhere else.
Alright. Who's gonna take him out?
Okay.
Yeah, which of us should knock him out?
Huh?
Who's gonna knock him out?
If there's two of us, we should probably have really easy time knocking a guy out and hiding him somewhere.
Yeah.
Should we roll for it?
Yeah, do
or...
a prowess. I'm gonna say it's only a difficulty of 2.
Okay.
Actually, I don't even know if you would need to roll with your martial arts, but do it up anyway.
Martial arts. Difficulty
Yep.
2? Oh,
Right.
yes.
Plus 6.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I didn't
Good
think you
job.
needed to actually roll, but anyway.
Well, I mean, you could still possibly, if you got a 1 and a 6.
It'd be minus 5,
Right,
but
right,
plus...
I could-
Oh, minus the 2. Yeah,
You up
yeah.
Really badly.
So yeah, you're able... You know, the guy kind of... He's like strolling down the street. He's like singing a nursery rhyme to himself and just kind of lollygagging along. How do you knock him out?
Oh, just some type of sleeper hold. I'll just walk up behind him and just sort of take him into an alleyway.
All right, yeah. You hiding his body anywhere, or...
Throw it
Yeah,
in a
I'm gonna-
dumpster.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it in a trash can. But I'm gonna try to ram something so that the trash can is like stuck shut until I like deal with it.
While you're doing this, I make sure, like, I make sure he can breathe.
Yeah, it's not
Probably
you know,
not the best smelling
not-
area, but, you know, he can breathe a little.
I figure like after enough sort of tossing and turning, he'll get out of it on its own.
Okay.
But it'll probably take a while
Okay.
after waking up. He's not just gonna like bake in the sun and it.
Smell pretty.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Joel, once you get inside and you're able to like lock the door back up and stuff, you can see that they did a really good job repairing the door. It pretty much looks like new again. Behind you, the warehouse is mostly filled with like skate ramps and like old arcade games and stuff like that to entertain all the street rats and the thugs and stuff like that. There's like card games going on. There's probably like 15 to 20 people walking around doing different odds and ends. Nobody really looks to be on guard or, you know, doesn't expect anything amiss.
Okay.
The back end of the building, the double doors you see are open. There's a couple of the actual guard people standing at the door. And you can see the little girl in the pink dirty dress and bow standing next to one of them she's like sign language into him. And he's like nodding. Every now and then he laughs and like pats her on the head.
Do I see the van?
Not at the moment, but like when the building goes in, you have like your long main warehouse of the building, but there's like several like offshoots where vehicles would be pulled into.
Okay. I tag a tough guy, like I tap on his shoulder, like saying, "Oh, I really have to go to the restroom. Can you hold the door for a minute?" And then I walk off to one of the side of the warehouse.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, sure, no problem. And, you know, he takes up his position. He's like, hurry up and, you know, piss and zip it, because I got stuff to do.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, as you walk her down through the building and stuff, you can see, like, there's several different cars lined up in these little slots that they're stripping down and taking the parts apart, and, you know, they're probably stolen. But, you know, as you get down to the last one, your van is sitting there. It has no tires left on it. The back doors have been taken off. What kind of equipment is in your van? Do you have anything?
Like police equipment, like there would be probably bulletproof vests in there, like ammo, guns, and maybe like communication, like walkie-talkie.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's see.
You might want some kind of binoculars.
Oh, yeah, sure. Well, I mean, like, it's probably stripped already, so.
Right.
But yeah,
What else in the bag?
binoculars.
Let's see.
Like a earphone thing that I can hear long distances.
All right.
Oh, like one of those satellite dish things.
Yeah.
Well, let me look at Afterthought for a second. All right. I don't see anything there I can tag. All right, yeah. So what do you guys do?
Do I see anyone around?
There's a couple guys that are like working under the hood of the vehicle up front of it.
Okay. I take
Most
out.
of the stuff, all your equipment and stuff in the inside's all been torn out. It's like sitting in separated piles around the little compartment area.
Oh,
It's still there. It's
still
just
there.
been all taken out, basically.
Okay.
Yep.
Wait, the guns are all still there? Okay. Okay, so now that I know where the van is, and it's not in any drivable
No,
condition,
not unless you
right?
put wheels on it.
Yeah. I say to the guys, hey, Roxy needs this van in drivable shape as soon as possible. She has this job that this van is perfect for.
All right, and you see, like one of the guys up front kind of mumbles something, and the other one like looks around the corner, and you can see that he's got like a skull bandana and an eye patch, and he has like a witch's head on. He's like, "Huh?" And he sees like instant recognition in his eyes as he looks at you.